Hello. I just wanted to share again, before I jump into some of these verses, just the simple format that's really helped me to be able to read the Bible when it seems, complicated, or I'm just having trouble kind of getting traction and really being able to kind of understand what's going on. What I'll do is I'll read through a chapter. Today, I read Mark 14, and then I'll just find a verse that sticks out to me. So in this instance, the verse that stuck out to me was verse 38. And then what I'll do is I'm going to come over here and just type it out. And I'm typing it, but if you prefer to handwrite, you can write it down in a journal, write it down on a note card. That's really great for a Bible verse, because then you can, put it in your pocket and have it with you the rest of the day. You can type it out on your phone. But, somehow it's just really helpful to write the verses down. So for me, I'm just going to do it here in Google Sheets. It says, keep watch and pray so that you will not give into temptation. For the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. And then from there, then it's just write a prayer related to that verse. So in this instance, like the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. It's like this, I felt like I kind of understood this a little bit more today, which was like, so often it's like we want to do things, but then we're not, capable of doing those things. And, Jesus says, pray so you won't give into that temptation. So like, for instance, it's like, oh, I want to go to church. I'm willing to go to church, but my body's weak. It's like, I'm tired and then I don't go. Or it's like, I want to fast, but I'm just so hungry. I can't do it anymore. It's like, there's all sorts of ways that we might be willing, but just because of the weakness of our body, that might get in the way of what we're willing to do. And so Jesus is telling us, keep watch and pray, spend time in prayer, so that way you won't give into to temptations like that, because you're willing, but you're weak. And so because you're willing and you're weak, spend time in prayer, as so that you won't give into temptation. So, and then from there, once you have that verse, then I'll just write down a prayer. God, help me to spend time in prayer. Help me, God, to not be overcome by the weakness of my body. Help me, God, to walk by your Holy Spirit. So that's just a prayer related to that verse. And then another verse too that I found that was very good was Jeremiah 23:18. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it out. Have any of these prophets been in the Lord's presence to hear what he is really saying? Has even one of them cared enough to listen? And from here I would just write out a prayer. God, help me to spend time in your presence. Help me, God, to hear what you are really saying. And that's just such an important prayer when it comes to reading the Bible in general. We need to really be able to understand what's God really saying to us through all these things. And then this last portion, has even one of them cared enough to listen? God, help me to care enough to listen to you. You think about the parable of the seed and the sowers, and one of the seeds, one of the plants that grows gets crowded out by the cares of life. It's so often we can just care so much about other things that we're not caring enough to listen to God. So, just found this verse And here's just a prayer. And so that's it. It's just finding, spending time in the Bible, but then to help it not, be overcomplicated, to help give you something to walk away with, you just write down a verse. And then from that verse, you just can write a prayer from that. So that's it. Have a good day.